It's pretty contentious. Should I talk about it? Just recently, the Syngoniums have come under fire for weediness. Are they weeds? Is it something the nursery industry and home gardeners should be concerned about? Yes and no. There are the original species, which was released back in the 70s, which was really bad. It is an invasive weed and it grows prolifically under the ideal conditions. So this is a plant that loves the tropics and the subtropics, and it thrives in those humid rainforesty environments. It likes to climb fences, it likes to climb trees, it likes to take over control of the garden. But that's the old-fashioned form. And was it a garden escapee? Well, plants don't actually escape by themselves. They're usually dumped. And people were dumping plants, unwanted house plants, in the bush, in the scrub, because they didn't want it. And I think with the current trend for indoor plants, it might possibly happen again, but hopefully it won't. But the good news is a lot of the newer varieties in the cultivars, they're tighter, they're compact, they're much more attractive, and I think unlikely to be dumped. For example, this one has been growing in this pot for well over a year, and it's still incredibly compact. It hasn't produced any long shoots at all. And I think the secret is to find those varieties, those cultivars which are best suited for compact habits. So what can we home gardeners do? Demand cultivated varieties that are compact and not weedy. We have the buying strength. We have the control, consumers, gardeners. If we do not want weedy varieties and cultivars in the market, don't buy them. So if you are growing any of these particular plants, keep them in a pot, keep them contained. Don't throw them in the bush, which is highly illegal, and dispose of them appropriately if you need to. Ideally, find someone else who wants to grow them and take possession of these particular plants. They're great plants if looked after. You need to be responsible as a gardener to do the right thing when it comes to disposing plants that you don't want. You know, maybe someone wants to buy the plants that you have that you no longer need or desire. Yes, trends come, trends go, but you know, if you hold on to them long enough, they'll come around again. So yes, these plants have a bit of an identity crisis. These plants are loved by some gardeners and despised by others. As gardeners, as I said, you have the buying power. Demand compact forms. Demand varieties that don't run. And just to give you an idea, one of my examples, one of my specimens which was very popular 5 to 10 years ago, and this is what it can do. Run to the original plant. But what can I do? I can cut off all the runners at a very early stage and it will stay nice and compact. I just forgot this plant existed. It was in a pot behind some other plants and it decided to take control, to run through some other gardens. I should say run over some other garden pots, and therefore it rooted as it actually spread. So folks, should it be relegated to the dump? Should it be relegated to the banned plant species? I personally don't think so. I think there are more pressing things in Australia to address, such as feral animals, which should be addressed first and foremost. And, well, you know, some plants, I think these are okay, but there are plants that damage the bush. There are plants that have been introduced, like lantana, that were introduced as ornamental plants and have taken over large areas of land. We should be responsible gardeners. We should select plants that are not invasive. The nursery industry should be selecting plants that are sterile and not potential weeds. But as home gardeners, it's still our responsibility to select the plants correctly, select plants suitable for the climate, select plants that will not be weeds. And with that bit of gardening advice, I leave it all in your hands to look after your garden and the surrounding bushland of Australia. You are responsible for your actions. I am responsible for my actions, but hopefully together we can minimize weed issues. This is Paul Plant Horticulture. If you like the garden tip, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and look forward to my next daily YouTube video.